Okay, so this is a video that I've been meaning to make for a little while now, and it's a pretty serious topic, and I'm smiling and I'm laughing, but hopefully I can keep a lighthearted tone for this. If you couldn't tell already by the title, this is about ulcerative colitis. And if you don't know what ulcerative colitis is, I would recommend Googling it. So like pause the video now, go Google it, and then come back if you still want to hear what I'm about to talk about. Okay, so either you did pause it and go and look up ulcerative colitis or you didn't. I've talked about it a little bit before. I had two Project for Awesome videos where I talked about the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America. And now I kind of just want to go into a little more detail about my experiences living with ulcerative colitis because it's kind of common, relatively common. I guess I'll start with a little bit of overview of ulcerative colitis. I know that hopefully you guys all Googled it. Essentially, ulcerative colitis is an autoimmune disease. There's no cure for it right now. It's treatable, but not curable. Essentially, my immune system targets the healthy cells in my colon as harmful foreign cells and just tries to destroy them. That's like the gist of it. So it causes ulcers and stuff like that. It's not very fun. That's why I don't talk about it very much, because it's embarrassing. It is. And a lot of people have it, and it shouldn't be something that I'm really embarrassed of. But talking about your colon and like your bowels, that's really not like a flattering thing, and people don't really want to talk about that. And even though it's a disease that I shouldn't be like embarrassed of, it's something that I can't control or can't help, it's still not great. Hey Nugget, you here to come for me? Nope, just gonna chill back there. How about you lay here? How about you lay right here so people can see you? There you go, stay right there. Gonna try to get Nugget to join me in this video. So that's what ulcerative colitis is. And now I guess I'll talk about my experiences with it personally, because everybody has different experiences, and it's funny because I don't want to get emotional over this, and I didn't think I was going to, but sometimes I see commercials for certain medications that are supposed to treat Crohn's or colitis. Crohn's is kind of like the sister or brother disease to ulcerative colitis. So basically ulcerative colitis is just in your colon, Crohn's disease is your whole gastrointestinal tract. That's the very simple explanation of it. So whenever I see commercials about either of the diseases, you know, you see this person who's walking around, they're like, oh, do you go out and like you're really stressed out because you need to like make sure you can find a bathroom and you're so uncomfortable. And I look at that and I'm like, hell yeah, that is me. But then I also look at it from another perspective where I'm like, I don't think people understand quite the severity. And it's not just, I don't even know where to start with this. So we're just gonna start over. But basically, the reason I'm making this video is because whenever I see something like that or I see someone talk about it, it makes me feel a little bit better knowing that other people had to go through that or are going through that and experience the same thing, and it's just nice. And I know that a lot of you guys, most of you guys are not going to be able to relate with this video, but it's something that I want to talk about because I never talk about that. I don't really talk about personal things like this, and I'm just gonna do it. So I got diagnosed with ulcerative colitis in March of 2012, I believe, but I first started showing symptoms of it in about July 2010. So right when I moved to Florida, that's when I started experiencing symptoms, and I realized that there was something wrong with me, and I was like, Mom, what's up? And we went to the doctor, and they took some blood tests, and I did some other tests, and they're like, oh, we don't know, dude. I'm like, oh, thanks. So, you know, the next year and a half, I kind of knew that there was something wrong, but it wasn't affecting me so much that I felt like I really needed to investigate it. So it's basically just like definitely something bad, but it didn't limit me in any way. It wasn't like I couldn't go where I wanted to go or do what I wanted to do. It's more just like warning signs where I was like, something's wrong, but I'll deal with it later. Then my senior year of high school, I started feeling really sick. I started missing a lot of school, and I finally told my dad, I was like, I think I need to get checked out or something. And he went and he scheduled me a colonoscopy, which mostly for old people. Let's be real. I was the youngest person. I remember I had to go to the hospital and I had to like sign myself in, and kind of my dad was there, and they gave you a big list of everybody who was getting a colonoscopy that day, and I was the youngest by far. So I went, I got my colonoscopy, and I got my diagnosis. I got some medication, and I thought, I don't know why, but 17-year-old Jess thought it was really cool that I got to take pills. I'm like, oh, adults take medication. That makes me an adult. So I thought the pills were really cool, and I took them, and it worked, and I got better. I didn't get completely better. I've actually never been in remission, which is probably to a certain extent my fault because I'm not super regular with my medication. I will take it until I'm pretty good or better, and then I get lazy and I stop taking it. So that's on me. I recognize that. That's fine. I'm good now, but we'll get to that. So I was fine before I got diagnosed. I was pretty okay once I got diagnosed. Then about a year after I got diagnosed, it got worse. I tried to get better, but I'd have instances. So here's like the embarrassing stories. So my grandpa died in April 2013. So I was back home for some reason. I think I must have had a break from school. So I remember I was in Massachusetts and I had to drive to the other side of the state because that's where the funeral was going to be, and I was driving with my brother. It's about a 2.5 hour drive, and we stopped for pizza. It was great, it's whatever. I get back in the car and I just feel sick. I'm toning this down because it's embarrassing. I'm like, I have to pull over. Like, I have to pull over right now. So I pull over on the side of the street, and then I have to go to the bathroom on the side of the street, or on the side of the highway rather. And I'm just like, I can't believe this is my life. I'm like, this sucks. This has never happened before. Like, I feel the discomfort, and I feel like I'm trying to remember how my gastroenterologist phrases it. I feel the urgency, I guess, that like I have to go to the bathroom. And that's kind of something that you feel a lot when you have ulcerative colitis. Even if you don't need to, you feel it, and it's not fun. So I end up having to go to the bathroom on the side of the road. And we get back in the car and we keep driving. And we have to pull over one more time. And then finally we get to a rest stop because it's the interstate. Pull over to the rest stop, go to the bathroom, and I just had to sit there and like pretty much reevaluate my life. I'm like, I still have another 40 minutes left of this drive and I'm stressed out and I don't know what I'm gonna do, and like, can I get back in that car and can I keep doing this? And it's embarrassing and it's painful, and it was a wake-up call where I'm like, I need to get this under control because I don't want this to ever happen again. Spoiler alert, wasn't the only time it's ever happened. And a couple years after that, I had similar instances, luckily only ever with family members driving in the cars. So 2013/2014, when I was a sophomore in college, I was still taking medication and stuff, but it wasn't always working the right way, or I didn't always take it as regularly as I should, and I would experience symptoms where I would feel that sense of urgency, like I mentioned before, and I'm like, I can't get in this car. I can't go do this thing because what if I need to go to the bathroom halfway there? And it's not the same as when I'm with family members, because I've had to pull over with family members. I had to pull over with my brother, and I've had to pull over with my mom before, but I've never had to pull over with anyone else because I don't put myself in that situation if I can avoid it. So I remember there's like one day, for example, I was gonna go to Target with a couple of my friends, and we get in the car, one of them's like, oh, I gotta go grab something. So he gets out, he runs back into the building to get something, and I'm sitting there in a car, and I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, Target's like 8 minutes away. It's gonna take him like a couple more minutes to get back. And I was sitting there, I was like, what if I have to go to the bathroom? I'm like, I can. So he gets back to the car, and I'm like, I really have to go to the bathroom, don't wait for me, bye. And I leave, and I go back to the building, and they go to Target, and it's like a thing, you know, it's just Target, it's fine. But it's not always just Target. It's like a lot of different things that I couldn't do or I'd be stressed out about. Where, you know, I'd go to a restaurant with people, and I'd get there, and I'd go to the bathroom, and I'd come back. And then I'd be stressed out, and I'd have to go back to the bathroom and then come back. And I know that it's just the disease, and I know that's not something you should be embarrassed of, but like having to go to the bathroom 3 or 4 times and having to try to explain that to people, it's embarrassing, and it's not fun, and it's not something that I like to do. The last year has been the worst year for me so far. I'm currently taking 3 different types of medication to help it. I'm taking enemas. If you don't know what those are, have fun looking those up. They're great. I take a pill, which is mesalamine, which is usually what is used to treat ulcerative colitis. And I just started taking anti-anxiety medication. Woo! Let that sink in. And I'm telling you guys this, not because I want to make you uncomfortable or like share way too much, but the last year I've had issues where I can be fine, and as soon as I start stressing out about potentially having an incident or a problem with my ulcerative colitis, I almost cause that problem. It's like a circular, perpetual thing where I'm nervous that I'm gonna have to get in the car, so then my ulcerative colitis acts up, and then I'm more upset because my ulcerative colitis is acting up, and then because I'm more upset, the ulcerative colitis gets worse and worse and worse, and it's just, it stops me from doing a lot of things. It stops me from leaving the house as often as I would like. I mean, I used to think like, well, at least if I'm alone, I can calm myself down. And, you know, if I'm driving alone, I never really had any issues until I drove down to Florida and I'm driving alone and I'm still having these issues, and I'm realizing that it's just getting worse and worse. You know, I go to drive with my mom and we get in the car in the driveway and we're about to pull out the gate and I'm like, no, I have to go back to the house right now. And then we get back in the car and I have to go back to the house. And then we get in the car and then we're halfway down the road and I'm like, we have to turn around. I know people have it like so much worse. Like, this disease isn't gonna kill me. Hopefully, I'm not gonna die. You have an elevated risk of colon cancer, but I'm not gonna die. So I know people have it so much worse, but it's like the little things. There's a cow. That's a fucking raccoon. There's a raccoon outside. There's a fucking raccoon outside. Should I call my mom? Are they supposed to be out right now? I'm sorry. They're raccoons. Which is good because I needed to reset a little bit. So I know that I could have it significantly worse. Like, I could have it a lot worse. I remember I was driving to the airport and I was stressed out and I'm like, well, if you have to pull over, you have to pull over. You're alone, it's fine, like, don't even worry about it. Trying to calm myself down. And then I realized, like, wait, I don't feel that same feeling. I'm like, I know that I have to go to the bathroom. I can actually hold it. And it was so exciting, which sounds so stupid and probably gross. But me being able to say, I need to go to the bathroom, but don't worry, I can hold it, is like a really big thing for me. Particularly when I'm driving or I'm in a situation like that. And it was just like really awesome. And last night I went out to dinner with my mom and our friends. And I got in the car with my mom. She's like, yeah, you can drive or whatever. And I get in the car and I'm like, I don't have to go inside right now. I'm like, I'm good, I'm fine. And we start driving and we get through the gate and we close the gate, which takes 14 years to close, which means it takes 14 years to open. So it's not really fun when we're on our way back because I have to turn around. We get through and I start driving. I'm like, I feel fine. Like, I'm not stressed out about this. I don't feel like I need to turn around. And that's like normal. That's like what a normal person should feel. And I don't feel that really often. So I felt that 2 times in the last 10 months. Getting in a car and being like, I'm fine, I'm okay. I think I'm getting a little bit better now, but I also had experiences where it got to the point where it was so bad that I would sit down to stream and I would be like, I can't play Halo today. I can't do it. And if you watch my stream, there was, you know, maybe like a week or so where I just didn't really play Halo, or I at least didn't start my stream with Halo, because I sit down to stream and I'm like, what happens if in the middle of this game I have to go to the bathroom? I'm like, that's embarrassing and humiliating, and how do I explain that to people? And I don't really want to explain that to people. I don't want to have to talk about that on my stream. I don't even know if I touched on everything that I wanted to talk about in this video. And I just kind of wanted to tell you guys that it's a big part of my life. It is. And I don't talk about it. I just feel like if more people talked about it, it'd be an easier thing to deal with. And like, a lot of people have it. So hopefully, actually not hopefully, but possibly one of you guys who's watching this does have ulcerative colitis, and you'll be like, oh my god, I've almost shit myself too. It's like, oh my god, same. I don't want you guys to be like, oh, poor Jess, she doesn't leave the house a lot because she's a loser and also because she has to pull over on the side of the road all the time. I want people who are like, I feel that and I'm embarrassed too, but I shouldn't be because I can't control it and it's not my fault. And it's like, I remember trying to explain it to people or telling people some of these stories, or like, I have to pull over, and they're like, well, why don't you just hold it? And I'm like, that's fucking not how it works at all. Sorry, dude, that's really, really not how it works. Do you have ulcers in your colon? Oh no, I do. I fucking do. Ooh, so, you know, gotta keep it lighthearted. Gonna end it on a happy note where I'm getting better. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I hope that wasn't too weird. I've been filming for like 20 minutes, so I need to edit this and then I have to go stream. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next Tuesday. Bye!